Hello everyone, this is Uncle Guest speaking and I'm going to do a review on Cyberpunk 2077 after the recent patches. Firstly, I've only bought this game about 2 weeks ago and I've been playing it for quite a lot actually, clocking in around 130 hours. I hope you enjoy what I've seen in the value of this game so far. With that out of the way, let's get started. Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person RPG with the game's name as its setting. Well, it's Cyberpunk in the 2077. You'll be playing as a mercenary by the name V in the dystopian city overtaken by capitalism called Night City, the so-called City of Dreams. It's developed by no other by the community favorite developer CD Projekt Red that just keeps getting nominated in Steam Awards year after year in the Labor of Love category due to its generosity in free DLC and being responsive to the community. It has been about a month and a half since the initial release on December 10 on 2020. I could say they have fixed a lot of bugs. They have been really hardworking. But is it enough though? Honestly, no. No, it's not enough. It's getting there, but still not there. Basically, it just went from being the likes of a pre-alpha stage game to a beta testing phase. There's still quite some traps, I would say. By traps, I mean places you'll land in a confined spot and it's really hard to get out sometimes. Or in other cases, you treat it like you've been fallen off on high places and then you die. T-pose still exists occasionally. I even managed to capture this footage, this image of a gang member T-posing during a Pan Am quest. Let's just say about every play session of 4 hours I have, there will always be a few bugs that will annoy you, such as audio keep not working,
¡Mierda! ¡Perdón! Got you, asshole! Beef! Aim for the driver!
vehicles stay mid-air after reloading, or the relic malfunction visual effect persisting indefinitely until you reload the game. I've played this game on PC by the way, so I can't really say much for consoles. What grind my gears is that they took about 8 years developing this and only began fixing all the game breaking bugs after release, not before release, in a span of 2 months. Honestly, why don't you release it after you've done fixing it and not before? The Witcher 3 only took 3.5 years and is way less bugs and better than this whole mess. There's still parts of the game that I find really unbalanced or perhaps just an overlooked feature. For example, the unbalanced part, let's talk about the ability to shoot through walls, aka wall banging. CD Projekt Red, whatever weed you're smoking right now, please stop. This is bullshit and it utterly breaks the game. Just look at how easy it is to just use one sniper to wipe the entire area. I'm not asking you to remove the wall bang ability because it's actually really good. It exists in quite some games actually, like most prominent CSGO. But for the sake of balance, please have some limitation of how much you can penetrate. Shooting through a sheet of metal as cover, perfectly reasonable. Shooting through an entire car or a whole slab of concrete wall, okay, you're pushing the buttons right here. Shooting through everything as long as it's within range, look, even a pay-to-win gacha game has more balance than this bullshit. Another thing that needs readjustment are those fist fighting quests. Boy, I've played the game on hard mode for most of the time, and the only time I tune down the difficulty is for this tedious fist fighting quest. Even on easy mode, they still KO me in 3 or 4 hits, and I have to hit them like more than 100 times in order to win. And by hit, I mean breaking their constant guard and actually punching them in the face. So in reality, they take more than 200 punches to KO, and their movement is extremely predictable, yet their hitbox is stupidly large or unfair. Sometimes their hits register even when I'm obviously well out of their range. I like how the opponents you fight all have their own personality, but then realize they all have the same movespeed, and how the twins gave me the false hope of getting interesting fistfights later on. Seriously, although the fistfights suck balls, the concept of the twins is actually pretty legit. I gotta have to give my credits for that. As you can see, after all my rambling on this, the fast forwarded footage finally came to an end.
Stop the fight! Can't you see he's had enough?
Just stressing it one more time, the footage is on easy mode. Lastly, this happened during one of the fistfight, complimenting how badly made these fistfight were. Another thing is that the water is still as boring as ever. It's just there to punish you if you happen to fall into it, as getting out of it is annoying at times. The ladder is always far away from you. There's really nothing to see down here. Unlike The Witcher 3 made by CD Projekt Red, there's sometimes treasure chests in it. The only interesting thing there is actually during the final quest from Panem, where you dive to visit her submerged childhood street. So if you ever find yourself useless, depressed, remember, Oxy Booster exists in this game, and you'll always be more useful than it. Ah yes, the infamous Wanton level and its stars. It's a well-known gimmick from GTA loved by a lot of people, and other Top Chef games with similar genre just want to follow it, like Saints Row, Watch Dogs, Sleeping Dogs, etc, etc. When you commit a crime, whether intentionally or by accident, like, well, running over people, the authorities, the hands of justice, will bring their wrath upon you. That's when you have to make two choices. You either stay low, avoid trouble, and be a model citizen, so that the cops no longer bother you because they see you as a pussy that won't fight back. Or you can walk in front of a cop and go,
ほう、向かってくるのか。逃げずにこのディオに近づいてくるのか。
then proceed to commit mass homicide just because you can, and see how far you can go before running back to your safe house and message them,
I'm joking! Stop! 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 Stop the brake! Stop! Stop! Stop!
That is what the wanted levels are for. To give you a sort of self-imposed minigame when you got bored of the main game or just simply triggered and want to kill someone. In Cyberpunk, it doesn't serve that purpose or any sort of enjoyment. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's an anti-fun system that is even bugged. It's way too easy to achieve high wanted levels and also way too easy to clear it. Just look at this footage. It literally went from 0 to 100 and back to 0 in about 30 seconds. The cops do way too much damage and they don't even send their police cars to chase me. Look man, if you want to mimic a gimmick, at least do it right and proper. Even Genshin Impact copies Legend of Zelda respectfully and make it a good game. By noise, I don't mean the neighbors upstairs tap dancing at 3 AM in the morning or the autistic screeching of. What I mean is that there are too many things distracting you from what you're actually doing. This is especially true in Act 1, the part after the prologue and before Keanu Reeves appeared. Short one-time tutorials popping up everywhere telling you about cyberware, cyberdeck, the 3 main types of gun in a matter of 1 hour of gameplay. The saddest part is that this tutorial is way too simplified in this really complex character sheet. I like how guns and minimos are separated. The cyberware slot on Mantis Blade has their own categories, which for some reason plays it like regular mods. It's pretty misleading. I like how different major areas of the map have their own recommended level, but it's not shown like in The Witcher 3. I like how your perk level is limited to your state level. And most importantly, I like how I only found this all out by myself slowly during Act 2 while wasting a lot of resources buying stuff that I can't equip or just flat out wasted. Those short tutorial messages are not only redundant at times, it's disrupting the gameplay. Come on man, I just want to walk around the city of dreams peacefully a while. Then there's the items all over the place. Why would you put all these junk as items to be picked up? What purpose does they even serve? Then there's alcohol and food everywhere showing up every time I scan to loot corpses. Finally, can we talk about phone calls?
Hey, V, got a gig for you. Hey, V, how's things? V, guy named Max Jones needs help.
You know what's the worst part of them? You can't ignore it.
V, something in Northside just erupted and
I will look into it when I want to look into it. That is after I finish what I want to do. The side quest, the main quest, whatever. The Witcher 3 does not have these problems, although you probably accepted a shitload of quests on a notice board without looking at it, like those terms and conditions during game installation. Because they don't disturb the gameplay. They don't force you to take notice of the other quests you're not doing now. Can the fixer act like a notice board? I mean, they do exist on the map now so that you can only get a few lines of dialogue when you meet them face to face. Except Rogue, but that's because she plays an important part of the main story. You could have just asked them what job do they have and collect all the deeds first and look into it later. But to be fair, this problem is mostly prevalent in Act 1 for me, because after getting the hang of it and having a lot of fast travel points unlocked, I don't find that much tilting, but it's still very annoying. Just not tilting kind of annoying. And that's all the bad part. Other than that, the game really is a masterpiece at times. The side quests, those side quests are probably the best thing the game has to offer. Period. All of them are pretty well made and memorable, like the Flaming Crouchman.
No, it's a normal implant malfunction. Happy? You helping me or what? All right. Great. Why are we standing here? To the car.
The gun that questions your morality after you kill or maim 50 per with it.
One before. User, I have assisted you in killing over 50 people. Stone Cold Killer mode has been deactivated. From this point on, only puppy-loving pacifist will be available. Thank you.
But why is it blocked?
Opening frequently asked questions. Item: why can't I kill more than 50 people? Answer: wrong with you. Please go see a therapist, you psycho. Note to self: rewrite later. Do not forget.
And best of all, the sentient vending machine.
Tell Theo that she's stronger than she thinks.
Don't worry, Brendan. I'll tell her.
You also get to reunite Johnny Silverhand's samurai band. It's awesome, really. Then there's also these moments where it's only just you and the featured character, away from the non-stop calling from fixers, the serenity, the atmosphere of those moments almost made me forgive those invasive, annoying fixers.
Hey, V!
Almost. Because every time I open my map, the amount of yellow circles remind me of how many more phone calls I will probably receive. Those gigs they provide really is pretty repetitive and mediocre. Their story is too short to give a damn about, and what you have to do is pretty much the same few. It's either stealing, planting a malware, assassination, or getting someone out alive. If you earn a completionist like me that aim to get 100%, please, just do the side quests. Search the wiki for which exclamation mark are the side quests. The gigs ain't worth it for gameplay experience. Just do it for the in-game cash if you want to do the gigs. This is actually a trade-off of the overly complex character sheet of V. His or her V may stand for Vincent or Valerie respectively, but boy, their arsenal of abilities may as well just stand for versatility too. You see, those gigs and side quests only tell you what objective is, not how you should do it, though some rewards stealth more. The freedom of approach for this game is outstanding. I'm going to take this part of the main story as an example. You can do it like what it's doing now, going full Rambo or Samurai mode. Don't need to worry about enemies spotting you when they're all dead. Alternatively, you can try and play stealthily like a ninja. And the step mechanics honestly reminds me of the game Payday a lot, especially that alert meter. As long as it's not full, they don't give a damn. But when it is though, you only have a short time before the entire facility is alerted of your presence and things will go ugly. Think that both take too much time? Well, speedrun it then.
Mission complete!
Yeah, the choice is yours. Take verdict? This is what a game would have been. A Michelin star great cake, but for now, it looks like this. Though the content is still great, it's not refined. At least it's still better than the initial release, which is basically this. Thank you for watching. This is my first video. If you like it, do leave a like and subscribe. If you don't, that's okay. You can always leave some criticism in the comments below. Thank you for watching once again and have a nice day. Peace.